All right, thank you. Are you still able to see my screen? Everything sharing perfect?
Yeah, I
Wonderful.
can. Yeah, I can see your screen. So I'll do an introduction, then I'll leave
Okay.
the stage for you. All right. So good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon to the attendees. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Ebenezer, and I'm a training coordinator with the Temple SBDC. The Temple SBDC helps small businesses start and grow. We do this through our free webinars and training sessions such as this. And we are proud to be part of a nationally recognized accredited network of SBDCs with over 1,000 centers across the US. You have joined us today for our webinar dubbed Business Resources Prepare for Tax Changes. A follow-up email would automatically be sent to all attendees after the end of this session within the next 2 business days with all relevant materials. All attendees are currently muted. However, we encourage that if you have any questions or queries, you post it in the chat box and then the Q&A sessions. Sorry, the Q&A chat box, which will be answered by the presenters at the end of the presentation. Now, I'll leave the floor to Chris to take up the presentation. Chris, you have the floor.
Thank you, and thank you everyone for joining, taking of your time. I know this is lunchtime, so I hope you're enjoying. We'll make this as easy as possible. One thing I want to stress out, we from the Department of Revenue do not intend you to walk out being an expert. This is purely for you to make an informed decision. We're sharing resources. We will share some information. Some of it will be technical, but we always encourage you to work with a professional. At the end of the presentation, you will hear about resources available for businesses, either the ones provided by Temple or the ones the city has made available through the Department of Commerce. And the one thing we want to encourage you is to check them out and ensure that you work with a tax professional and someone who understands your business. Obviously, without that background, we cannot make a tax advice or inform or give you guidance about your personal business, but we'll be checking on your comments and questions throughout the presentations on anything regarding the regulations or understanding the terminologies. My name is Christian Crespo. We're joined today from the Department of Revenue by Rebecca Lopez Chris. Oh, I don't have your name up here. Sorry, Rebecca, about that. She's the Deputy Commissioner for Policy and Outreach. I'm the Director of Communications for Outreach and Assistance. In the chat, it's Ian Schumor, our Public Information Officer. He will be tracking your comments, leaving out links that you will hopefully find helpful. These are links to resources, blog posts, and information that we put out there. And let's get started with revenue. Perfect. We will cover the top business taxes in Philadelphia, probably with time permitting. We will only cover BIRT, Business Income Receipts Tax, and the net profit tax. There's other taxes that will be available in this presentation. If we don't get to it, we will share this slide deck with all of you at the end. And again, work with a professional if you need to understand either these taxes or any of the taxes in the city of Philadelphia. We will also talk about the tax changes for 2025. This is the tax year the tax season that starts in January, and you have until April to file most of these taxes. But a lot of these changes went into effect in July 1st of this year, and it's already the law. Philadelphia Tax Center will talk about a little bit about sales service options, our portal, website, and how to connect with revenue. Okay, we'll give you some information. We would like to know who is in the chat or in the room. So if you can head to the chat, this is interactive. I wouldn't want you to fall asleep. We'll do my best to make it entertaining. If you can leave in the chat, kind of like who you are. Have you filed business tax already with Philadelphia? Are you an entrepreneur thinking of starting a business? Are you already established an open business? You've been doing businesses already. Are you a physical business or service, a professional services firm or something? Whatever the case is, leave it in the chat. We want to know who we have in the room, get a better understanding, and hopefully this encourage you to choose Philadelphia. Oh, I'm seeing the chat. All right, well, prompts to you, Heather. Hope that you can get to launch your business in the next weeks or months, whatever it is. And if you already are registered, we also want to know how familiar you are with like the EIN process, or you already filed for register in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania or with the City of Philadelphia, which I'm going to talk about our registration process in a bit. All right, let me see what we have in the chat. I have been listening for 3 years. Thank you. Congratulations. And I thank you for choosing Philadelphia as one of your places to do businesses. And thank you for your information, Melissa, everyone. Really appreciate that. All right. In this presentation, revenue, we will only cover the city of Philadelphia and taxes for our jurisdiction locally. We would not cover Pennsylvania taxes, such as the sales tax or the personal income tax. These are taxes collected by the state Department of Revenue. And sales tax specifically, it's paid directly to them. They remit that, the portion that stays in the city. So we don't collect and we would not cover sales tax. We always recommend talking to a professional. And by the way, as putting out there, as in the earlier our names, I'm from the communications department, so I'm not a tax accountant. So we'll do our best. And but Rebecca, it's very knowledgeable from our deputy policy and outreach department. All right. This is just one step to knowing your tax responsibilities and requirement to start a business in Philadelphia. If you haven't already, you should first start by registering and requesting a Philadelphia tax identification number. The short acronym for that is FITI number, as we know it internally. But it's the Philadelphia tax identification. This is your gateway to obtaining and opening every other account that you would need as a business owner. It's also your gateway to obtaining a commercial activity license. And this is one of the first requirements for you to operate and do business in Philadelphia. The process is you go to the Philadelphia Tax Center. This is our main website for public facing. You can access a tons of sales service options in this website. We will talk about that later. But you can get started by going to tax-services.phila.gov, or there's a paper applications on the website which you can fill out and request a FITI number. It is important for you. One thing is if you walk out of this presentation with something, one thing we want you to kind of like memorize and internalize is keep your business records separate from your personal one. It's not only a good practice, it's not only a good business practice, but it will help you understand where your business activity is happening, especially for depending on the jurisdiction you are doing business at. If you're 100% business happening within Philadelphia boundaries, maybe not so complicated for you, but if you're either considering expanding or you're already taking your business physically or shipping products, doing anything outside of Philadelphia, keeping business records separate will help you understand your liabilities, your responsibilities for each jurisdictions. And when you work with an accountant or a professional, they will tell you this will be very helpful when they're doing the taxes for you. If you need any support, again, the Department of Commerce is going to talk about tax preparation services and support for all businesses in Philadelphia. And there's also entities like Temple SBDC, the Free Library, BRIC, Business Resource Innovation Center, and many others out there. I don't want to mention anyone who is not Temple, so we're just not going to mention the other partners, but there's so many people out there that can provide services and resources, okay? Top business taxes, let's get started with the two main ones. We have business income and receipts tax. The acronym for that one is BIRT, B-I-R-T. This is the main one. I'm going to cover in a second. And then we're going to cover net profits tax, okay? The BIRT, like I said, this is the main one. Every entity, individuals, partnerships, associations, corporations, LLC, or limited liability companies, anyone doing business in Philadelphia is subject to the BIRT. Okay, if you're thinking of or you're already doing business in Philadelphia, this is the first tax you have to think about. Okay, it has two components. A portion of it taxes all your gross receipts, and this is all the sales that happens only within Philadelphia. And going back to 2 slides before, I mentioned that it's a good practice, and we recommend that you keep your business records separated. The reason for that is through the gross receipts portion of the BIRT, we only tax on all the activity that happens within Philadelphia. If you take your business either physically or you're shipping products or you're doing anything outside of Philadelphia, we would not tax you on that for the gross receipt part. So the gross receipts is only subject to the activity that happens within Philadelphia boundaries. Hope that was clear. If you have additional comments or questions, looking at the chat for it. But that's essentially, in a nutshell, how the gross receipts part of BIRT works. Second portion of it is the net income. And this will be the profit of your business. You have all your revenue income, you have your operation costs, whatever you deduct from that, advised by your tax preparer. And you may also have other expenses, employees, wages, anything else that it's not the profit of the business. What is the result of that you bring it into the business as revenue will be subject to the net income portion with the BIRT. This should not be confused with the MPT. We will cover that in a second, but MPT is about you as the business owner, as the individual, okay? So BIRT is about the business activity and the business profit and all the sales that your business have within Philadelphia. One tip about how to maybe reconcile this activity is sole proprietors, and we'll use the federal tax forms at 1040s and Schedule C to kind of like understand what is the business activity and the business profits versus what is your individual income or your individual revenue. The due date for BIRT is the same as your federal taxes, April 15 of each year. And we always encourage you to use the correct forms or use the online website or work with a professional, because tax rates have been changing. I would say, fortunately, has been going down, although some of the policy changes make it feels like it hasn't. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but tax rates has been changing, and again has been decreasing. So you want to make sure that you're using the correct form, so you are paying your fair share and then utilizing an old form which has incorrect rates. Rebecca, anything you may want to add about BIRT? Okay, cool. I might be doing a good job. See, Philadelphia received. So when we say all your sales in Philadelphia, and then we mentioned that BIRT has the gross receipts portion, we want to kind of like let you understand what receipts, well, what is our interpretation of a receipts? It's very broad. So it's any sales or any activity, either cash and credits. It's any sales of any property of any kind or nature, anything that you receive as a remuneration or to your business and revenue to your business from conducting any business within Philadelphia. This is all the sales or receipts that you have, and it's all subject to BIRT if it happened within Philadelphia. Okay, it could be the sales of a tangible personal property. Let's say you're selling candles, this is the example that we always use. But if you're selling something else, apparel, you have a store, you have a laundromat. When it's a physical, tangible property, it's kind of like easier to track where that sale is happening. But if let's say you have a physical business, but this weekend you're headed to a winter fair or something outside of Philadelphia, any sales that happen physically at that fair, it's not taxable on the gross receipts portion. Okay, so that's one thing you will want to know, how much of that activity happened outside of Philadelphia, because we won't tax it under the gross receipts. With services, it's a little more nuanced, because it's really about where the service is performed from, the location. Were you physically located in Philadelphia, either on a physical office or working from a remote office or some impromptu office at your home? Were you physically located here? It doesn't matter where your client was. It doesn't matter where your client it's been delivered. But if it happened within Philadelphia and you were physically located here, then it is very likely that that activity will be 100% taxable under the gross receipt and consider a sale that happened in Philadelphia. There are some exceptions, and one thing to stress that or help, it's depending on how the IRS treats your specific business or whatever your next code, NIC, did I say that right? Will be really about how that taxing jurisdiction for your specific business. So this is one thing we'll say, talk to a professional to understand how much of if you're a service-based provider or business, how would that interfere, or your nexus, how much jurisdiction or nexus you have with Philadelphia for your specific business. Anything you may want to add, Rebecca? Great. I'm sprinting fast because I know we have commerce and I don't want to bore you with a lot of stuff, but any questions, I'm looking at the chat, so please free to drop it in the chat.
We're tracking the check too, me and Nate.
Great.
So we got it.
Beautiful. All right, apportionment formula. So we keep saying gross receipts and only the business activity that happened within Philadelphia. This is a good formula because one thing for the profit of the business, for the net income portion, is it's probably challenging even for tax preparer to say, well, 10,000 happen in Delco, 15,000 happen in this other county or jurisdiction, and 70,000 happen in Philly. Well, those are round numbers. What happens when you have cents and this more portion and this product, it's not a round number, or you sell your largest or you sold your most profitable product and to a person in California and not in Philly. So it gets very complicated to know where your how much of your profit happened in Philadelphia. We have this formula, and hopefully you're accountants and you find it helpful. Where you will take all your gross receipts, taxable receipts within Philadelphia, divided by your total receipt or all your sales, and the percentage is what we utilize to really calculate your net income portion of the BIRT. And that will make you pay your fair share and something more accurate than probably breaking down all your profits within jurisdictions and areas. So this is really the formula. We leave it here. We'll share this slide deck and hopefully you find it helpful. Yes.
Right. So the idea is that it's really easy to figure out where a sale happened when you're talking about just the gross receipts part of the tax, right? It happened in Philly or it didn't happen in Philly. But it's a lot harder to figure out how much profit did you make in Philly. So we don't make you like track every little sale and figure out how much profit for every little sale. What we say is, well, what percentage of gross receipts were in Philly versus all of your sales? That creates, I don't know, is it 50%? Is it 75%? You apply that to your income, and that's the amount that's taxable in Philadelphia.
Wonderful. With all the changes and policies that went into effect in 2025, one thing that recently in 2022 was changed is the loss carry forward. This is your ability as a business owner to register a loss with the revenue agency, in this case, your local municipal revenue department, so us, and you can carry over that loss. In our case, for starting in 2022, you can carry that loss for up to 20 years. So any loss that you incur on, let's say you didn't have any profit and you're just reporting losses for whatever reason, you were dormant, you were working on something other projects, I don't know, whatever the scenario might be, you were reporting losses, you can carry over that loss for up to 20 years starting in 2022. That loss may help you offset your income in future tax liabilities. May not be sufficient to offset or bring it down to zero, but it will help you at the end in how much tax you pay. And one thing with the recent changes is you may have a tax sales less than $100,000 exception. So we had an exemption of $100,000 up until 2025. And if you were under that, you may have not been filing, or you may have been filing a no tax liability form, which was basically filing zeros. We don't have the losses. If you had any losses, we don't have those losses in our system for you to benefit from or take advantage of going forward. You could go back up to 3 years and amend your return. So you may want to consider look back on your accounting books, see how you were doing around 22, 23, 24. And if you had any loss or loss over any profits, you may want to talk to an accountant about, hey, will this be beneficial to me? Either amending my return, getting the losses in the system, and that loss will become available for 25 and up to 20 years whenever you need it to offset your income. Anything, Rebecca, you might want to add? Great. Another policy the department is extending to existing business, not only new businesses. This was already available to new businesses, but we are making it available and clarify that this is available to existing businesses, is estimated payments. If you work with the IRS, if you're an established business, you're probably familiar. The IRS and the state revenue department requires you to make estimated payments toward your following years, toward the next tax year. Because we have an exemption that is going away, and we'll talk about that in a minute, we are extending this policy where we allow you to go the first year that you're filing a BIRT return. Let's say you haven't filed in the last 3 years. You must be in the category where you haven't filed or you haven't had a filing requirement in the last 3 years. And in 2025, which is the tax season due next year, without the exemption, might be your first BIRT filing requirement. If you comply, if you're one of those individuals, you would not have to make any estimated payments at all towards 2026. These are the taxes that are due in 27. Gonna switch to the next page so that we can explain this a little better. 2025, it's this year. We're finishing up, believe it or not, by December 31st, wrapping up the year, talking to an accountant. By April 15, your taxes are due. By that time, all you have to file is 25, and all you have to pay is 25. In a regular treatment, we will have require you to also make estimated payments toward 2026. We're not going to require you to do so. This is at least the most sympathetic policy we can come up with, especially with the exemption going away. We're going to allow you to continue to do businesses in 2026 while you are getting yourself off your feet, probably with the new policies and the new requirements. By second year or year 2026, you will have the first, really by 2027, year 2027, you will have two options. You can, and additionally to filing and paying your 2026 activity, you have two options. You can make 100% or a full estimated payment towards 27, or you can pay in 4 installments. These are installments that are already been broken down by dates, and it would allow you to make your estimated payments and more affordable payments, again, split in 4 installments, starting in April 15 of 2027. In additionally to paying your 26 activity, you will make estimated payments toward the following year. These estimated payments are important because one thing you don't want to do is underestimate. So either you can choose to estimate based on your same activity and your same liability from 26, or you can make an analysis of your business because most of the business has already happened by the time you record, like April 15, you can say first quarter, January through March, that activity has happened. Depending on who you're working with, an accountant, tax preparers, they can help you figure it out how much of your business has already happened. So you can make an estimated payment that is most realistic. But the most important thing is that you don't underestimate, because you can be liable for additional charges at the end if you pay lower. All that matters is that you make your estimated payments by this deadline. So April 15th is the first one quarter of your estimated payments. In this example, we're saying it was a $400 payment for the 26 activity plus $100 will be a total bill of $500 and then $100 every other quarter or every other installment. By January 15, you have caught up with all your payments. You don't have to worry about estimated payments. Everything will reconcile when you file. And if you estimate it realistically and very close to your activity, everything will catch up. And at that point, it's all estimated payments going forward. We hope that this policy helps you kind of like transition into this new requirement, this new changes to the policies, because we have a exemption that unfortunately the city has to expire and retire. We can no longer keep it. It used to be $100,000, or all the first $100,000 were fully exempt, and this exemption is going away with the BIRT. We were basically sued, the city, and there's an uniformity clause within the Constitution of Pennsylvania, the Commonwealth, that doesn't allow us to keep this anymore. We were advised by our top lawyers and top city solicitors that this was the best thing, the most reasonable thing to do. And as a result, we have implemented all the policies that hopefully will help you through this transition. But now every business, regardless of how much you make or how much sales you make, will be subject to BIRT. And this is why we're having this kind of like workshops, because we want to relay the message to you personally. There was also some additional changes The administration, along with city councils, approved several tax rates reduction. In fact, they approved gradual, consistent reductions through fiscal year 39. I know it sounds like a long haul, but every year, starting in 25, all the tax rates for BIRT will start to go down. You will see, compared to last year, they already dropped the net income portion from 5.81% to 5.71%. That's a 10.10% reduction. And next year, 26, and then 27, every single year through fiscal year 39, they also approve to remove or eliminate the gross receipts entirely, which will reach zero. And then the net income portion will reach a 2.8% of the BIRT. So although I know this has been in the news really, so I don't think this is news for all of you, but and it's been covered extensively. We hope that this changes in this policy and that what the administration is trying to do is to, in combination with the elimination of the exemption, they have made steps and make decisions to hopefully have some relief or ease the burden of what BIRT would now represent to business owners. Anything you may want to add? Anyone? We will cover this in a few, but one thing the administration did with the recent budget, the fiscal year 26 budget, is they estimated that every single dollar that will come into the general fund out of this exemption going away, they are reinvesting all of that money, nearly 38 or 40 million dollars of it. It's been reinvested back into businesses, specifically businesses, small businesses in Philadelphia. Department of Commerce is going to cover that in the next slides, but we acknowledge that this is going to have an impact in businesses like you. So please get out of the system as much as you can. These programs are created for you, and they're going to share all the resources. How can you maximize every program available? All right. This is all BIRT so far. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say maybe we can just like very quickly go through NPT, but just for those in the audience, like we do this presentation like with the library and with CCP, and it's like an hour and a half to 2 hours long. So this is just like very, very high level. And so the lesson is make sure that you're working with a tax professional. Commerce is going to talk about programs to help support you to do that. And then and you just need to know that your taxes will change next year. I don't know. I don't know how quickly we can get through NPT, Christian. I know that like
already done 30 minutes, I know.
Yeah.
So in essence, NPT is the wage tax for business owners. If you were in a corporation or just any other business or any other employment, you will likely be on the wage or in their payroll. You will get paid like any other employee. We will withhold the wage tax out of that income and your personal income. This is basically any income that you retain or you keep as your income after you cover all your business expenses, after you pay all your employees, any take-home pay, anything you keep, again, this is considered your income, personal income, and net profit is the equivalent of wage tax. We will tax it at the same tax rates as in wage tax for residents and non-residents. And the most important part is that you know that you're subject to it regardless of kind of like where your business happens if you are a Philadelphia resident. So you do want to know, again, how much your tax at and know all those tax rates because they're being changing for wage tax and MPT as well. So if you're a business owner, just know that between the BIRT and the MPT, these are the two major taxes that you're responsible for. There is a 60% credit that you can take against your MPT when you pay your net income portion of the BIRT. Again, that's your business. So very much likely you will see that your BIRT liability will go up, how much you pay in BIRT or how much you have to will bill you in BIRT will increase, but 60% of your net income portion you can use against your MPT. So you might see your MPT go down if you were paying MPT before. Okay. I'm going to leave this and sprint through the next slides, but we have a very simple examples that will help you understand kind of like what is the tax liability will be for a person who is like doing, for example, selling candles and they make $100,000, $125,000 in sales. and the business had a 50%, $50,000 in profit, they will come down to a bill of approximately $3,188. But leave it in this like that because I know we're short in time. Just to kind of like wrap it up, um, we also have the Philadelphia Tax Center. We encourage you to register if you're not registered already. This allows you to access a lot of self-services options. I'd like to stress out that we have a tax clearance option where you can request a tax clearance certificate, which you need for a lot of stuff, for grants, for loans, to renew licenses, etc. You can get that in minutes via the tax center without having to come here in person, and you can do it without a username and password. You will get the certificate delivered to you, or you can like click and download. It's all web-based, it's all cloud. You can access from a mobile tablet or desktop computer, and it's available in English and Spanish. And anything you need, you may be able to access. Also, you may always always just review or stay on top of your tax responsibilities. So even if you're working with someone you trust, but whatever the reasons are, you may want to switch. You have a new accountant. It allows you to kind of like remove one access, give access to your new tax professional. There's a lot you can do in the tax center. Our contact information will be shared when we share a copy of this presentation, but you can find us online. And these are all very helpful emails and our phone numbers. We have 3 centers across the city: Center City Municipal Service Center, or MSB, the concourse level, and we also have the North Philadelphia and Northeast. And only MSB or only Center City takes cash payments. So just save it. If you need to do any business with the city or our revenue, you can go visit any of these centers. And that's it. We will share this link on the chat, but you can sign up for our newsletter. We won't send you spams or kind of like multiple messages. We only send you the things that we consider all of the most important and that we think you should know it immediately. So please sign up for it. And that's it. Any questions or comments? Again, we're here available. Stay through the entire presentation. We can hand it over to Commerce.
So are you, Leslie?
Okay. Trying to share. All right. Okay. Thank you, Christian. Today, so we're this segment we're talking about the Commerce Overview, the Philadelphia Business Tax Assistance Program. We're going to talk about additional business resources and programs, and then the Mayor's Business Action Team. I'm not sure. I think I see Liam in the chat, but I'm not sure if he's ready to present. So I'm going to cover his area.
No, I'm here.
Oh, you're here. Okay, Liam.
Yeah.
Good.
If you
Glad
can
you're
just
here.
put it in presenter mode, Leslie, we're seeing the slides.
All right, let's go. Show. Got it from beginning. Is that good? Is that good, Liam? So
Now we see it. Yep.
all right, Liam. So I'm gonna leave it to Liam, and he's gonna do his portion of his presentation. All right, Liam.
Thank
You're
you. Yeah, can you just move to the next slide?
okay.
It's not advanced. Oh, and one more. Okay, I'll talk about commerce and then I'll talk about our tax program. So yes, my name is Liam Kelly Fleming. I'm Senior Director for Small Business Resources. Our goal today is to show you how the Commerce Department is going to support small businesses in light of these tax changes. The city is basically directly investing the expected revenue from these tax changes into small business programs. So just so you know what the Commerce Department does, we are the department who is responsible for helping businesses of all sizes start, plan, grow in Philadelphia. So we do that by helping them thrive through attracting and growing and retaining businesses. We try to revitalize neighborhood commercial districts through partnerships with community organizations. We provide excellent service to small businesses. We support programs that provide education, capacity building, as well as direct access to capital. We'll talk a lot about those things today. And we also increase the access to economic opportunity to make it easier to do business in Philadelphia. So a lot of those things happen at every level, from helping the big businesses to the small. We're going to really focus on small neighborhood businesses today. So you can go to the next slide, listen. Thank you. All right, so the big headline as far as our response to the changes in the tax program or in the tax code for small businesses is that we are launching the Philadelphia Free Business Tax Preparation Program. Now, we've had a small version of this for years where we kind of by referral would assist about 60 businesses a year by matching them with an accountant who would help them, often people who had back taxes. We are now going to expand this drastically. So the goal is to expand this from serving about 60 businesses a year with one accounting firm to serving 5,000 businesses a year. And so far we have 18 accounting firms and counting. We are very excited that Temple SBDC is actually going to be one of our partners on that, as well as many small businesses themselves around the city. Currently, what you need to know is if you are under 250,000 in revenue, you are eligible for this program. The only exception is if your primary business income is from property rental. That is not eligible. That's just because there are thousands and thousands of single property LLCs. We are trying to focus on businesses that provide goods and services to the public or business to business. So right now, the call to action is go to this link, phila.gov/business tax prep. There is a interest form. Very shortly, we'll be launching the actual application. You'll fill out the information, and then in January, we will start matching people with accountants. Those accountants have been vetted, and we have accountants who speak many languages, including Spanish and Mandarin, but we have many more. They are all over the city, and they will be able to provide you with tax prep services, as well as in some cases additional services, maybe around bookkeeping or back taxes or cleanup. And this will be free to you. And really, the eligibility again, you must have either a business address in Philadelphia. If you are a home-based business, then you must be a Philadelphia resident. And we are kind of looking back at people's 2024 revenue, 250 or below. And again, not a business that is primarily deriving your income from property rental. That's kind of it. We're very excited. And again, there'll be some big announcements. The application should be live shortly. There'll be big announcements as we lead up to tax season, making sure everyone possible is aware of this program.
Thank you, Liam. Next, I'm going to talk about the Philadelphia Small Business Catalyst Fund. It's a $5 million annual investment to accelerate growth of small businesses. The focus is to help businesses sustain and grow through an infusion of flexible funds. And that would be accompanied by one-on-one support. So the grant, it ranges between $10,000 and $50,000, and the idea is to give businesses and to provide support and advisory services to ensure that businesses have long-term success. The goals of the Catalyst is to provide this funding to businesses. Obviously, you have to demonstrate that there's a need, there's growth potential, and that it will have economic impact. And we want to connect businesses to comprehensive support as part of this program, including business education and capital. The Philadelphia Small Business Catalyst Fund, there are some eligibility requirements. You must be located in Philadelphia, generate under 2 million. If you have revenue under 50, you're eligible for 10. If it's over 50, you're eligible for 25. Anything over 100,000, you're eligible for $50,000. You have to have a clear expansion plan, part of the requirement, that targets, accelerate the business goals with targeted funding and support, registered and licensed in the city. in compliance with city taxes. You can also have an approved tax payment agreement to qualify for the grant. And this is a grant, right? This is not a loan. Just wanted to make that clear. All right, so this is not going to the next. Okay. Sorry about that. It got stuck here for a minute, but let me go back. So the next slide here, we want to talk about the commerce programs, and these programs. So these programs, if it's grants, right, that the Commerce Department provide for Philadelphia businesses on eligible commercial corridors. So we have three specific programs that we offer here at the Commerce Department. One is the Storefront Improvement Program, the SIP, which provides 50% of reimbursement up to $15,000 for exterior renovations. Must be an approved corridor. Facade improvements like painting, signage, and lighting. The next one is the in-store forgivable loan. That's up to $100,000 for retail and food businesses opening and expanding on targeted commercial corridors. The requirement for that is businesses must be a retail or food-related business located in an eligible commercial corridor. Loan is completely forgiven after the business has operated for 5 years. We also have another program. It's called the Commercial Real Estate Acquisition Loan, which is the CREO program. Loan up to $350,000 for a business owner to purchase a commercial property, and you can get a grant up to $35,000 for closing costs. Credit score of 550 or greater is part of the requirement. The next one is if for businesses that are growing, so commerce grant programs to Philadelphia businesses that are growing. And in this particular program or grant programs, we have the Small Business Catalyst Fund, which I just talked about, the Philadelphia Lending Network, which is the PBLN. It helps businesses secure loans and grants, provides up to $35,000 in grant funding, and can match up to 50% of an approved loan. The annual revenue should be under $350,000. Quality Jobs Program receive $7,000 per new job created. Part of the requirements for this is you're located in Philadelphia, right? The business, and offered to Philadelphia residents, full-time permanent position, pay a living wage, provide health insurance, and paid time off. Fair Chance Hiring Initiative. This is to help local businesses hire and keep Philadelphians who have been impacted by the justice system. $6 per hour wage reimbursement plus one-time $500 employment retention grant for the employer. One-time $1,000 employment retention grant to the employee. Requirement for this is you generate less than $5 million in annual revenue, hire Philadelphians who have been impacted by the justice system. The next one is grant programs for Philadelphia businesses with safety and emergency concerns, if you have that for your business. So we have three specific programs: business security camera program, grants up to $75,000 or $3,000 of cost for eligible security enhancements citywide. Licensed and tax compliant businesses must register your cameras with the Philadelphia Police SafeCam. Next is the emergency grants for small businesses. You can get up to $20,000 in grant support for businesses facing hardship due to qualifying or a qualifying event. It can be a main break. It can be, a qualifying event that what happened at Cottman Avenue with the plane crash. That would be of a qualifying event. Small business and micro business owners that cannot withstand a prolonged loss of revenue is part of the requirement. Businesses with annual revenue less than $1.5 million. The last is the Liberty Bell Safe certification. Businesses receive $500 marketing grant after completing one full day of training courses. be open to the public and operating after 5 p.m., be in operation for at least 1 year. Next, I'm going to have Michelle Price, who is the Senior Director for the Mayor's Business Action Team, to really kind of sum up and talk about what the Mayor's Business Action Team does and how they support all of these programs that we have just discussed today. Michelle?
Thank you, Leslie. Good afternoon, everyone. Again, Michelle Price, Senior Director for the Mayor's Business Action Team. You have received a lot of information in a little bit of time. So I have a team that is actually here to be your translator, to actually assist you through the process, answer your questions, or connect with the folks, the great folks that's on this call. We work very closely with revenue and, of course, within commerce. So the Mayor's Business Action Team is basically business support. All things business, we want to be the, call us first. And we want to be the front door for all businesses. Any questions you have pertaining to business, give us a call, because if we don't have the answer, I can guarantee we can find out who has the answer, connect you with that person. So it's one-on-one business support. And it also addresses challenges as you grow, because you may already have a business. We want to, what we'll do is come out, we have one-on-one meetings with you. We want to triage, find out where you are and where you're trying to go, and connect those dots for you of where you need to go. Give you a whole layout of, all right, you need to start here. This is what you're going to do. We check in when you have questions. We actually motivate you throughout. It's basically, I like to call us a business best friend. And the business service managers are assigned by council district. We have 10 business service managers. The languages we speak at this moment is Spanish, Mandarin, and Cantonese and Russian. So, and if we don't have your language in there, definitely still reach out to us, because we work very closely with supporting organizations that can help us with the language capacity. So definitely still don't let that limit you from reaching out to us, because we will find a way to assist you. What has changed with the Mayor's Business Action Team, besides the name change? We used to be called Office of Business Services, but we're now the Mayor's Business Action Team. And with that came a subgroup. It's called business navigators. What our business navigators do, they handle all complex cases. Like if you have a case where you may have been trying to call revenue, and I'm not throwing shade, revenue, but you may have been trying to call them and you can't get through, or you have questions about a process. You would reach out to the business navigators, and we would be that liaison between the business owner and that city department. So we explain things to you, and once you turn in what you're supposed to turn in, we meet with revenue and let them know this has been turned in. And same with L&I, water department, any city department that you're trying to reach for your business. Definitely connect with Mayor's Business Action Team. We don't expect you to have to come in and go downtown and sit to wait and talk to someone, when you actually have someone that's here, and everything is free. Nothing is no charge of anything. We're here to assist you. And Mayor Parker, what she wanted was she didn't like that the time tax. It was taking so long for someone. It could be where they may thought they did everything and had the proper licensing, and they were shut down, and they keep running into roadblocks. And it's a business services manager is going to assist, but they're also managing a whole council district. So it wasn't that one-on-one concentration of that case. So what we have now is the business navigators who is working just distinctively on that case to move it along and make sure everything is being done in a timely manner. So that way it cuts down on your time tax. So definitely we work very closely with Temple as well. That is one of our technical assistance providers that we would connect you with and follow up on how your services were. So definitely, I always tell people, take a screenshot or store our phone number. It should be in every business owner's cell phone. Our number is 215-683-2100, or you can always email us at business@fola.gov. We respond within 24 hours. We answer the calls. We're available from 8 to 6 p.m. every day, every weekday. So you give us a call and you will get an answer. And again, that's our little joke that we have in person with revenue is that we answer the phone, but the team is always someone assigned to the phone, so they will answer your call. And if they don't have the answer, they will work hard to actually try to get that answer for you. And
I'm listening, Michelle.
gotta still we try to, even though it's online, we
Yeah.
still gotta make it a little fun
We
because this
won't
could be
pick
a
up your
dry
phone,
presentation.
but I would say MBATs are great. Reach out to them. Sometimes they're quicker than we are, and it's a personalized customer service that we sometimes cannot always offer. So yes, reach out to
Yes.
MBATs whenever you can.
And we love to come and see you. So definitely
Yeah.
can call us and then we can walk over and come and see you guys and see what's going on. So definitely as a partnership, we are all city and we are definitely pro business. So you utilize us, you pay taxes for us. So definitely utilize our services. They are free. And a lot of people like to call us a concierge. You can call us what you want to. Just call us if you have a business. If you know someone that has a business, share our number. So that way they call. Because a lot of times people will pay for a consultant or, something like that. And when they can probably call and we can work with them free of charge. Thank you. And then I guess we can open up the floor if we have any questions. And I'll check the chat. Okay. It doesn't look like we have any questions.
Y'all did fantastic. Nobody has questions, see?
See, we right into the point. Okay. All right, Temple. So did did you want to wrap up?
Yeah, so I think that there are no questions in the Q&A and also in the chat box. So I'd like to thank the whole team from the City of Philadelphia for the presentation from all the departments. Yeah. And also to iterate, I put in a link, a survey for the training in the chat. So I will encourage all the attendees to visit the site and then complete the survey. Yeah. So other than that, I think thank you, thank the team, 10 and then the team for the presentation, and then
There's one question for Liam. And then can you say again what it was where you can be assigned an accountant, please? I guess that if you can drop the link just
So
for you, Liam.
currently what we have is the interest form. We will be matching people come January. So if they go to the link, which is it was in our thing, phila.gov slash business tax prep. Make sure I get that right. I'll send it. Let me see. It's in that presentation, Leslie.
Yeah, so the link is if you go to phila.gov/business tax prep. That's phila.gov/business tax prep.
Hmm.
Yep, I just sent the link.
Yeah, so we are going to match people in early January, basically. If we can earlier, we will, but we're telling people to expect in January.
Yep.
all right, thank you.
Okay. All right. Thanks, everyone.
There's
All right.
one more
Uh,
question, and this is for Liam. Do you have a business do you have to have a business established to be matched?
You have to have tax liability, so that means you would have to be an existing business. Like we maybe in the future there'll be a place where we're doing tax like just matching people with accountants to get started, but this is about businesses who have tax liability in 2025. Do we get all the questions, Leslie?
Yes, that was
All
it.
right.
All right.
Thank
Okay.
you guys. Have a great day.
Thanks,
Thank you.
everyone. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.